In the heart of West Texas, where golden prairies stretch endlessly under a vast, sapphire sky, a deeply moving love story has taken root. The blazing summer sun bathes the town of Willow Creek in light, where a solitary millionaire, Mason Caldwell, a scarred schoolteacher, Anna Harper, and a little girl named Sophie confront their invisible fears. This is more than a journey to mend broken hearts. It's a tale of past secrets slowly unveiled, trust rekindled, and the wondrous power of music. Every note, every step draws them closer, igniting hope amidst the pain. Step into the world of Mason, Anna, and Sophie, a romantic saga laced with surprises that will hold you captive. If you believe love can heal all wounds, subscribe to the channel to never miss the next emotional moment. Nestled in the heart of West Texas, Willow Creek lies cradled by endless golden prairies, shimmering beneath the radiant summer sun. This small town, like a gem forgotten by time, pulses with a slow, deliberate rhythm, blending the hum of cicadas with the hot, whispering winds that sweep across the dry grasslands. Under a vast sapphire sky, Willow Creek exudes a rugged beauty, yet harbors an air of mystery, as if every street corner, every winding road holds untold stories. Here, grand dreams often fade into the stillness, but sometimes it's in this very simplicity that miracles begin to unfold. At the town center stands a grand mansion, its white stone walls and towering windows reflecting the sun's relentless glow. This is the home of Mason Caldwell, an oil tycoon who built an empire from nothing. With dark hair streaked with silver and eyes that pierce with unspoken depth, Mason embodies success, yet a nameless sorrow lingers in his gaze. Once a man of boundless passion, he has been frozen since the day his wife, Emily, vanished without a word, leaving him and their little daughter, Sophie, in a world suddenly hollow. The mansion, Ocean, though opulent with sprawling rooms and lavish furnishings, feels as cold as a tomb. Its long hallways echo with Mason's solitary footsteps, devoid of laughter, stripped of a family's warmth. He has poured his soul into his work, transforming oil wells into a lifeline, but nothing can fill the void Emily left behind. Each night, as moonlight spills through the windows, Mason stands silently at the frame, staring across the distant fields, wondering if he can ever reclaim the light for himself and his daughter. Sophie, a 7-year-old with golden hair and wide, curious eyes, was once Mason's greatest joy. Her radiant smile could banish any shadow from his heart. She loved afternoons racing through the fields, the rhythmic clop of horses on the red dirt roads, and the bedtime fairy tales Mason spun each night. But that carefree girl is gone. Now quiet, Sophie's gaze often falls to her clasped hands, as if the world beyond is too frightening to face. Watching his daughter, Mason's heart aches with a piercing pain. He has taken her to the finest hospitals, consulted the best doctors, but no one can restore her strong legs or that once dazzling smile. For a man accustomed to controlling everything, this helplessness is alien, unbearable. Money, power, all he possesses feels meaningless when it cannot bring Sophie joy. Yet Mason refuses to surrender. He believes that somewhere in this small town, a spark of hope waits, a path to lead him and Sophie out of the darkness. Willow Creek, with its cobblestone lanes and weathered storefronts, is more than the place where Mason was born and raised. It's where he's chosen to start anew. He doesn't want Sophie growing up in the cold extravagance of the city, where everything revolves around wealth and status. He longs for her to feel the authenticity, the warmth of a tight-knit community, even if he himself has drifted from such things long ago. This town, with its unassuming beauty and humble people, seems to carry a silent promise that every wound, no matter how deep, can find healing. Each morning, as dawn paints the fields in hues of gold, Mason drives Sophie through familiar roads to the local school. He hopes this new environment, with its fresh faces, will help her rediscover joy. But a quiet fear simmers within him. Sophie now shies from light, flinches at sounds, dreads the things that once brought her delight. Mason knows this journey will be arduous, but he's ready to do anything to see his daughter smile again. Meanwhile, Willow Creek lives on with its weekend markets, the distant toll of church bells, and stories swapped over coffee at the small diner. Though tiny, this town is a crossroads of fates, where people carrying their own scars find one another. Mason, with his oil empire and shattered heart, is but one piece of a larger tapestry. Unbeknownst to him, a woman named Anna Harper is quietly entering his life, bringing with her a melody that could change everything. Anna, with her soft brown hair and eyes that hold untold stories, is the music teacher at Willow Creek's elementary school. She came to this town to escape her past, never imagining she'd find a reason to confront it here. As Mason and Sophie step into Anna's world, a new chapter begins, one not just of healing, but of love, trust, and fateful secrets. Willow Creek, with its scorching summers and boundless fields, becomes the stage for an emotional journey, where the grandest dreams take root in the simplest moments. Beneath the blazing golden sun of West Texas, Sophie Caldwell was once a spirit as free as a bird, soaring over the prairies. Her golden hair danced in the wind as she galloped on horseback, her clear, joyous laughter echoing across the boundless fields of Willow Creek. Sophie cherished afternoons racing through tall grass, the song of the breeze weaving through the trees, and the quiet moments nestled beside her father, Mason, listening to tales of twinkling stars in the night sky. With sparkling eyes and an open heart, Sophie was Mason's sunshine, the reason he rose each morning, even as life cast shadows from the departure of his wife, Emily. But a fateful day changed everything. A horrific horse-riding accident, when Sophie tumbled from her beloved steed, stole not only her ability to walk, but also the carefree innocence of her soul. Her small legs, once strong enough to carry her across the fields, now lay frail and motionless. At just 7 years old, Sophie found herself confined to a wheelchair, her tiny frame seeming to shrink before the world. Her eyes, once alight like a summer sky, now often gazed downward, avoiding every glance. The radiant smiles vanished, replaced by a haunting silence, as if she were battling an unseen storm within. Sophie feared everything. The whistle of wind through a window startled her. The brilliant sunlight made her squeeze her eyes shut. And her dreams, vivid nightmares of the day she fell, plunged her into a terrifying spiral each night. In those dreams, she fell endlessly, heard the fading hoofbeats, and felt the helplessness of legs that no longer obeyed. Awakening, Sophie would clutch her pillow, her small hands trembling, too afraid to share the terrors gnawing at her heart. She built an invisible wall, locking herself away from the world she once adored. Mason Caldwell, a man who had conquered oil fields and built an empire, had never felt so powerless. Watching Sophie, his precious little girl, his heart shattered. Mason was accustomed to solving problems with wealth and influence, but Sophie's pain was a challenge he could neither buy nor control. He took her to the most renowned hospitals, consulted the finest doctors from Houston to New York, but they only shook their heads. They spoke of physical therapy, of time, of patience, but no one could promise to restore the Sophie of old, the girl who ran and laughed like a boundless breeze. In the long nights as Willow Creek sank into darkness, Mason sat by Sophie's bedside, holding her small hand. He recounted the fairy tales she once loved, but her eyes stared into the distance, as if she were in a place he couldn't reach. Mason blamed himself. He wondered if he'd failed her, if Emily's absence had caused Sophie to close her heart. Yet deep within, he knew Sophie needed more than stories or doctor visits. She needed a spark, a reason to believe the world was still worth loving. Determined not to give up, Mason sought new paths. He heard of Willow Creek's elementary school, where dedicated teachers and a warm environment might help children rediscover joy. Though skeptical, he clung to the hope that a small change could ignite something in Sophie's spirit. He pictured her in a classroom, surrounded by the laughter of friends. And maybe, just maybe, she'd smile again. That fragile thought became the flame that kept him moving forward. Each morning, Mason gently lifted Sophie into her wheelchair, handling her as if she were a delicate treasure. He drove through Willow Creek's red dirt roads, past fields shimmering with morning dew, to the small school with whitewashed walls and a playground shaded by trees. Sophie sat silently in the back seat, her hands clasped tightly, her eyes dodging the sunlight streaming through the window. Mason hid his worry, offering her a smile, but he knew this journey would be far from easy. Sophie hadn't just lost her ability to walk. She'd lost her trust in the world. a wound far deeper than any physical scar. Willow Creek, with its quiet simplicity, seemed to whisper a silent promise. This small town, though unassuming, had witnessed stories of renewal, of people finding light in the darkest times. Mason, his heart heavy, didn't yet know that bringing Sophie to school would open a new chapter in their lives. There, in a classroom filled with music, a woman named Anna Harper waited, not just to teach Sophie to sing, but to show her how to face her fears. Anna, with her own mysterious past and a heart marked by scars, would become the key to unlocking a door of hope for both Sophie and Mason. Under the vast Texas sky, where the grasslands sway in the breeze, Sophie's story is a testament that even in the bleakest days, glimmers of light wait to be found. Her fears, though invisible, are not unconquerable. And Mason, though helpless against his daughter's pain, is taking the first steps on a journey to reclaim her smile, a journey that will lead them to miracles he never dared to dream of. In the modest elementary school of Willow Creek, where simple white walls blend into the town's serene embrace, Anna Harper shines as a quiet beacon. With a voice as gentle as a summer breeze drifting through the grasslands, this music teacher brings a rare warmth to her classroom. Anna is more than an educator. She's an artist, once the creator of symphonies that hushed grand auditoriums in bustling cities with awe. But behind her soft smile and shimmering brown hair lies a story she keeps hidden, a past steeped in pain that drove her to Willow Creek, where she hopes to start anew. Anna was once a radiant star in the world of music, her symphonies brimming with emotion and finesse, echoed through opulent theaters where stage lights illuminated her dreams. She envisioned global concerts, leaving her mark on millions of hearts. But a devastating tragedy snuffed out that flame. A horrific accident during a performance she organized claimed the life of a student, leaving Anna with unrelenting grief and a prolonged lawsuit. Though cleared of blame, the accusations, suspicious glares, and crushing self-reproach forced her to abandon everything. She left the city, her beloved piano, and sought refuge in Willow Creek, hoping to escape the shadows of her past. In Willow Creek, Anna lives quietly. She rents a small house on the outskirts where wildflowers bloom around a wooden fence and bird song greets each dawn. Each day she enters her classroom in a simple cotton dress, her hair flowing freely, her deep brown eyes holding stories never shared. Anna pours her heart into her students, teaching them to feel music, to let notes tell their own tales. Yet despite her devotion, she maintains an invisible distance from the world around her. She smiles at colleagues, chats with parents, but no one truly breaches the wall she's built. Anna fears that letting anyone too close will awaken her past, shattering the fragile life she's trying to create. Anna's classroom is a world apart, where worn pianos and faded sheet music become bridges to the soul. The walls are adorned with students' colorful drawings, scribbled notes bursting with emotion. Anna believes music is more than melodies. It's the language of the heart, a way to heal wounds words cannot touch. She often sits at the piano playing soft tunes, letting her students find freedom in each note. But despite her passion, a part of Anna feels adrift, as if she's living a life that doesn't fully belong to her. The day Sophie Caldwell entered her classroom, everything shifted. Sophie, the 7-year-old with golden hair and averted eyes, sat silently in her wheelchair, her small hands clasped, as if clutching something fragile. Anna saw at once that Sophie's wounds ran deeper than the physical. Her frail legs told one story, but the fear in her heart was what caught Anna's attention. In Sophie's eyes, Anna glimpsed an invisible dread, a fragility that echoed her own dark days after her tragedy. Anna knew reaching Sophie would take more than ordinary lessons. It would take music, the only language capable of piercing the walls Sophie had raised. From that moment, Anna gave Sophie special care. She watched how the girl reacted to sounds, how her small hands trembled at a mournful melody, and how her eyes sparked faintly when a joyful note rang out. Anna was patient. She started with simple songs, gentle melodies like a summer breeze, to make Sophie feel safe. She played tunes of fields and galloping horses, hoping to stir the beautiful memories Sophie once held. Slowly, Anna realized Sophie wasn't just listening. She was letting the music guide her, as if the notes were light in her darkness. Anna also saw that Sophie's journey wasn't hers alone. Mason Caldwell, the father with deep, burdened eyes, often stood quietly outside the classroom, watching his daughter. Anna sensed his pain, a kind she knew better than most. Though they hadn't spoken deeply, she saw in Mason a man fighting to restore light to his child, much like she'd once fought to reclaim herself. Mason and Sophie's presence stirred something in Anna, a part she thought had died long ago. She began to wonder if Willow Creek, the place she'd come to hide, was where fate had led her to heal. Under the vast Texas sky, Anna's classroom became a place of wonder where notes were not just sounds but threads binding hearts. Anna, with her talent and scarred heart, was slowly becoming Sophie's guide, helping her rediscover light. But she didn't yet know this journey would transform her too, forcing her to face the past she'd tried to bury. Willow Creek, with its stillness and secrets, was weaving a greater story, where Anna, Sophie, and Mason would together uncover the power of music and love. Beneath the humble roof of Willow Creek's elementary school, Anna Harper's classroom is a haven where weathered notes become bridges to wounded hearts. The small room, adorned with children's vibrant drawings, holds an old piano standing quietly in the corner, like a loyal friend awaiting its moment to sing. Texas sunlight slips through the windows, casting golden streaks across the wooden floor, illuminating specks of dust dancing in the air. It's here, in the stillness of a summer morning, that a quiet miracle begins, as Anna Harper settles at the piano and lets her fingers glide over the ivory keys. On the first day Sophie Caldwell entered the classroom, she brought with her a heavy silence, her eyes dodging the light, her hands clasped tightly on her wheelchair. Sophie, with her shimmering golden hair and delicate face, seemed to shrink inward, like a wilting flower before a cold wind. Anna, with the keen insight of one who has known deep sorrow, saw that Sophie needed more than music. She needed a way out of the darkness imprisoning her soul. Anna didn't rush or push. She chose to let the music find its own path to Sophie. Anna began with a simple melody, a gentle tune that flowed like a Texas stream through the prairies. The notes, rising and falling with tender emotion, poured from the old piano, a soft whisper inviting Sophie to step out of her lonely world. Each key Anna touched carried a story, a promise that life still held beauty worth discovering. The melody was unadorned, unpretentious, yet it held the power to slip through the cracks of a heart where fear and pain lay hidden. Sophie, usually silent and withdrawn, suddenly lifted her head. Her eyes, often fixed on her trembling hands, now met Anna's as if drawn by an unseen force. The music, with its subtle honesty, had touched a hidden part of Sophie's soul, like a ray of light piercing a thick night. Anna, sensing the preciousness of the moment, offered a gentle smile, her hands still dancing across the keys, keeping the melody alive. She didn't press, didn't disrupt the fragility of the instant, but let Sophie let the music lead the way. Slowly, Anna encouraged Sophie to join in. She invited her to sing, not with words, but by playing a familiar tune, a children's song Sophie might have heard in happier days gone by. When Sophie's voice emerged, it was shaky, hesitant, like a fledgling bird testing its wings. The sounds were faint, faltering, but to Anna, they were a triumph. And then, a miracle unfolded. A smile, small but radiant, bloomed on Sophie's lips. It was the first time in months, since the devastating accident that stole her legs, that Sophie revealed a spark of joy. That smile, though fleeting, was proof that music had opened a door in her heart. Outside the classroom, Mason Caldwell stood silently, hands in his pockets, his gaze locked on his daughter. The man who had conquered oil fields and faced million-dollar deals felt his heart pound, as if witnessing the impossible. He hadn't seen Sophie so alive since the day she fell from her horse. Her smile, however brief, was the light he'd sought through months of despair. Mason looked at Anna, the woman with flowing brown hair and hands weaving magical melodies, and felt a strange stir, a mix of gratitude and curiosity. Anna, with her talent and patience, had achieved what Mason's wealth and power could not. She didn't just teach Sophie to sing, she taught her to feel the world again. Mason, lingering in the hallway's shadows, began to see that Anna was more than a music teacher. She carried a rare strength, an ability to reach lost souls. But alongside his admiration, a question took root in his mind. Who was Anna Harper? What secrets lay behind her gentle smile and deep eyes? Why had she come to Willow Creek, choosing a quiet life in this small town? In that moment, as the piano's melody lingered, Mason sensed an invisible bond forming between him, Sophie, and Anna. Music, like a fragile yet enduring thread, was drawing them closer, though each carried their own scars. For Sophie, the melody was the first light in her darkness. For Mason, it was hope that his daughter could reclaim herself. For Anna, it was a reminder that she could still create wonders, despite a past that tried to convince her otherwise. Under the radiant Texas sky, Anna's classroom became a sacred space where notes were not just sounds, but the pulse of hope. The first melody Anna played for Sophie was more than a song. It was the start of a healing journey, one that would transform 3 souls. Sophie with her invisible fears, Mason with his broken heart, and Anna with the secrets she wasn't ready to face. Willow Creek, with its stillness and endless fields, was witnessing a beautiful story being written, one note at a time. In the small classroom of Willow Creek's elementary school, where Texas sunlight slips through the windows, a silent transformation is unfolding. The notes from Anna Harper's weathered piano don't just echo in the room. They weave their way into the heart of Sophie Caldwell, a girl once imprisoned by fear. After that first melody, Sophie begins to crack open the door to her heart, like a tender flower reaching for the sun. The lessons that follow become moments of magic, where music builds a bridge between the girl and the world she once shunned. Sophie, with her golden hair and eyes slowly regaining their spark, no longer sits in silence in her wheelchair. She starts to open up, sharing small stories about a stray cat in the fields or clouds shaped like whimsical creatures. Her laughter, though hesitant, begins to ring out, like cheerful notes blending into Anna's melodies. Sophie even dares to touch the piano keys, her trembling fingers brushing the ivory, producing clumsy but meaningful sounds. Each time she plays a note, Anna smiles, her eyes alight as if witnessing a miracle. For Sophie, these moments are more than music lessons. They are the first steps toward facing the invisible fears that once held her captive. Anna doesn't just teach Sophie to sing or play. She teaches her to feel the world again, to let melodies become light that chases away darkness. With patience and an open heart, Anna guides Sophie to see beauty in the simple things, a note resonating, a breeze slipping through the window, a sunbeam warming the wooden floor. She shares stories of famous compositions, born from broken hearts, and Sophie listens, her eyes wide, as if discovering a new world. Anna knows Sophie's journey isn't just about regaining the ability to walk. It's about rediscovering trust in life itself. Outside the classroom, Mason Caldwell becomes a familiar shadow. The man with deep eyes and a pensive demeanor lingers longer after each lesson, not just to pick up Sophie, but to witness his daughter's miraculous change. He stands quietly, watching Sophie laugh, seeing her reach for the piano keys, and feels a spark of hope he thought was lost forever. Mason, who once believed money could solve anything, now sees that some things can only be touched by heart and sincerity. Anna, with her talent and gentleness, has done what he could not. Brief conversations between Mason and Anna begin to blossom. At first, they talk only of Sophie, her progress, her smiles, or how she started sharing dreams no longer filled with nightmares. But soon, their words drift beyond the classroom. Mason speaks of Willow Creek, of days when he was a boy running through the fields, and Anna, though cautious, shares her love for music. How a symphony can tell a lifetime story. These moments, though simple, bring a warmth neither has felt in a long time. Mason is drawn to Anna, not just for her talent, but for the warmth radiating from her heart. Beneath her gentle exterior, Anna carries a quiet strength, a healing power Mason senses in her every glance, every gesture. He sees she's more than a teacher. Ginger, she's a woman with untold stories, scars hidden beneath her smile. Anna's sincerity, her wholehearted devotion to Sophie, stirs Mason's heart, once frozen since Emily's departure, now beginning to thaw. He wants to know her, to breach the invisible wall she's built, but he senses the caution in her eyes. Anna, though moved by Mason's sincerity, keeps a safe distance. She feels the warmth in his gaze, in the way he listens to her every word, but her past looms like a heavy shadow. Anna fears that if she lets Mason too close, the secret she's buried, the accident, the lawsuit, the accusations, will resurface, destroying all she's building. She fears she's unworthy of Mason's trust or Sophie's affection. Each time Mason lingers, each time he smiles at her, Anna's heart wavers, but she pulls herself back, reminding herself that Willow Creek is her refuge, not her home. Under the vast Texas sky, Anna's classroom becomes a place of wonder, where notes are not just sounds, but threads tying three souls together. Sophie on her journey to conquer fear, Mason yearning to restore light to his daughter, and Anna with scars she's not ready to face. The bond between them, though fragile, grows stronger each day, like a melody being composed note by note. Willow Creek, with its swaying grasslands, bears witness to a beautiful story, where music and love begin to intertwine, promising wonders yet to come. Willow Creek, with its red dirt roads and golden prairies stretching endlessly, is a place where stories spread like summer winds. In this small town where neighbors exchange friendly nods at the coffee shop or chatter at weekend markets, rumors hold the power to shake even the strongest bonds. Beneath the radiant Texas sky, a secret from Anna Harper's past begins to murmur like a quiet storm gathering, threatening to unravel the fragile world she's carefully built in her music-filled classroom. It all starts with a casual conversation at the schoolyard. A parent, voice hushed but pointed, mentions Anna's past. They speak of a lawsuit from years ago, a tragedy tied to a student's death during a music performance Anna organized. Though details are vague, the story spreads swiftly, from grocery store encounters to evening chats on front porches. Words like tragedy and responsibility are whispered, paired with curious glances toward the music teacher with the gentle smile. Anna, who keeps the world at arm's length, remains unaware that the shadows of her past are quietly trailing her. Mason Caldwell, a man accustomed to weighing every decision, can't ignore the murmurs. As an oil tycoon, he's learned to protect what matters most, and Sophie, his fragile-hearted daughter, is his entire world. Sophie's progress in Anna's class is undeniable. She's begun to laugh, sing, and even touch the piano keys, feats Mason once thought impossible. But when rumors about Anna reach him, unease stirs. He wonders if he's entrusted his daughter to the right person, or if Anna, with her deep eyes and enigmatic smile, is hiding something dangerous. With his cautious nature, Mason resolves to uncover the truth. One evening, as moonlight spills through the windows of his cold mansion, he sits at his computer, typing Anna Harper's name into the search bar. Old articles appear, their sensational headlines screaming, "Tragedy at Concert," and "Teacher accused in fatal accident." They recount a performance in a big city where a student died in a stage mishap. Anna, the organizer, was thrust into a storm of public scrutiny. Though unproven, the accusations painted her as careless, even reckless. Cleared of legal blame, the words still carry weight, enough to unsettle Mason. He reads and rereads, each line like a blade cutting into the trust he'd placed in Anna. Within Mason, a silent battle rages. On one hand, he can't deny the magic Anna has brought to Sophie. The girl, once locked in fear, is opening up, thanks to Anna's melodies and patience. Each time Mason stands outside the classroom, seeing Sophie smile or hearing her hum a tune, his heart lightens as if dawn is breaking after months of darkness. But on the other hand, the old articles with their vague yet haunting details gnaw at him. Who is Anna? Why did she come to Willow Creek? Most crucially, is he risking Sophie by letting her grow close to someone with such a shadowed past? Mason begins to watch Anna more closely. He notices how she interacts with Sophie, gently guiding her to the piano keys, her eyes lighting up when Sophie sings. It's all genuine, without a trace of pretense. Yet he also sees Anna's reserve, how she sidesteps personal questions, how her smile holds a distant gaze. Mason wants to believe Anna is good, that she's truly helping Sophie, but doubts swell, like dark clouds dimming the Texas sun. Can he trust Anna, who holds Sophie's heart, or is he blinding himself to a danger he hasn't yet seen? In the days that follow, Mason grows quieter. He still drives Sophie to class, still waits outside to pick her up, but his eyes now carry a hint of scrutiny. Each time Sophie progresses, sharing a new story or playing a longer melody, he hesitates. Is he too quick to doubt Anna? Are those articles the full truth? Mason knows he needs answers, but he fears the truth might shatter the miracle unfolding. Sophie needs Anna, and a part of Mason is beginning to realize he's drawn to this mysterious woman too. Under Willow Creek's vast sky, where grasslands sway in the breeze, Anna's buried secrets threaten the fragile bonds forming. Mason, driven by boundless love for Sophie, stands at a crossroads. Trust or suspicion, step forward or pull back. Anna, unaware her past is being unearthed, continues weaving healing melodies for Sophie, not knowing she'll soon face the shadows she's tried to bury. Their story, like a symphony of shifting tones, enters a new movement, where truth and trust will be tested beneath the blazing Texas sun. Beneath the silvery moonlight stretching across the Texas prairies, Mason Caldwell's mansion stands in silence, a quiet witness to his family's pain and hope. The sprawling hallways, once alive with Sophie's laughter and Emily's warmth, now echo only with Mason's solitary footsteps. After days wrestling with doubts about Anna Harper, he seeks refuge in routine. But the past, like a persistent shadow, always finds a way to rise. One evening, as the mansion's lights cast cold glows on stone walls, Mason resolves to confront a corner of memory he's long avoided, Emily's old room, the wife who left him and Sophie without a word. The room, tucked at the end of the hall, feels frozen in time. Faded silk curtains, dust-covered books on shelves, and a tarnished silver mirror stand quietly, as if awaiting their owner's return. Mason steps inside, his heart heavy, each step stirring memories he's tried to bury. He doesn't want to reopen old wounds, but a part of him yearns for answers. About why Emily left, about what shattered their family. In a corner, beneath an old blanket, he finds a small wooden box, its intricately carved surface worn by time. Simple yet elegant, the box seems to hold an entire world Mason never knew. He sinks to the wooden floor, moonlight streaming through the window, illuminating his trembling hands as he lifts the lid. Inside lie relics of a distant time, handwritten letters in Emily's graceful script, faded photographs, and small trinkets like a silver bracelet and a pearl comb. Each item is a fragment of Emily, the woman he loved fiercely, but now exists only as a shadow in his memory. Mason unfolds the letters, reading lines about Emily's youth, her dreams of becoming an artist, and nights spent at the piano, her soul soaring. The words pierce him with both pain and shock. He realizes he never truly knew the woman he married. Among the keepsakes, an old concert program catches his eye. The paper, yellowed with age, still bears bold print detailing a performance at a prestigious music school from Emily's college days. Mason scans the list and his heart stops when he sees two names side by side, Emily Caldwell and Anna Harper. They were friends studying music together, sharing dreams of grand stages where spotlights and applause would crown their talents. The coincidence stuns him as if fate has delivered an unexpected blow. He digs further and finds a small photograph carefully tucked between the letters. In it, Emily and Anna stand side by side, beaming under summer sunlight. Emily, with flowing blonde hair, embraces Anna, whose eyes sparkle with a carefree smile. They look like two young women brimming with hope, untouched by life's cruelties. Though faded, the photo pulses with the vitality of that moment, a moment Mason never knew. He holds it, his fingers tracing Emily's face, then pausing on Anna's. Could fate have brought Anna to Willow Creek, to him and Sophie, like an invisible thread tying past to present? The discovery leaves Mason reeling. Anna Harper, the woman bringing light to Sophie, was once part of Emily's life. They weren't just classmates. They shared dreams and moments Mason never glimpsed. He wonders if Anna knows of this connection, if she came to Willow Creek for Sophie, or if it's all a strange twist of fate. The question burrows into his mind, stirring both hope and dread. If Anna and Emily were close, why has Anna stayed silent about it? And if she's hidden this, what other secrets might she be keeping? Mason sits there, bathed in cold moonlight, the open wooden box before him like a book revealing a chapter of a life he never read. He feels a strange connection to Anna, but his doubts intensify. The old articles about the accident, the accusations, now weigh heavier alongside her link to Emily. Mason wants to believe Anna is good, that she came to Willow Creek to heal, but this box has opened a door to questions he can't ignore. Is Anna truly who she seems, or is she concealing a truth that could hurt Sophie? Under the vast Texas sky, where stars twinkle like fate's whispers, Emily's box of memories has changed everything. It's not just a relic of the past. It's a clue drawing Mason closer to Anna's truth, yet thrusting him into a labyrinth of doubt and emotion. Willow Creek, with its swaying grasslands, bears witness to a story rich with depth, where past and present intertwine, promising revelations that will shake the hearts of Mason, Anna, and Sophie. Willow Creek, with its golden prairies stretching beneath the Texas sun, carries the serene beauty of a tranquil painting. Yet beneath this calm, invisible storms can surge without warning, shaking hearts seeking solace. As Anna Harper's music gently rekindles light in Sophie Caldwell's soul, a shadow from the past rises, threatening to shatter everything Anna has carefully built. This storm doesn't brew in the skies above, but in the hearts of people carrying pain and resentment, dragging with them secrets Anna has fought to bury. It begins as a subtle undercurrent. When the family of the student lost in Anna's tragic accident years ago arrives in Willow Creek, they are the ones who lost their child in the performance Anna organized, and their grief, though years old, remains raw and unhealed. With cold eyes and resolute voices, they come to the town armed with old newspaper clippings and accusations that once forced Anna to abandon her musical world. They threaten to expose her story, to recount the accident in all its heartbreaking detail, making Anna the target of scorn. To them, Anna isn't just the organizer of that fateful event. She's the embodiment of a pain they cannot forgive. News of their arrival spreads like wildfire throughout the town's dry grasslands. Conversations at the coffee shop, curious glances at the weekend market, all revolve around Anna Harper, the music teacher with the gentle smile now shrouded in whispered doubts. The people of Willow Creek, accustomed to peace, begin to see Anna differently. Some offer sympathy, but others start to question, who is Anna really? What is she hiding? Can she be trusted to teach the town's children? Anna, though she maintains a calm exterior, feels the weight of mounting pressure. She's lived in fear for years, always dreading the day her past would catch up and destroy what she's built. Each morning, she enters the classroom, playing soft melodies for Sophie, smiling at her students, but her heart feels constricted. In the long nights, alone in her small house on the outskirts, Anna sits by the window, staring into the dark fields, wondering if she should stay. She knows that if the family exposes her story, her reputation will crumble, and the trusting gazes of Sophie and Mason will turn to disappointment. The thought makes her tremble, as if she's standing at the edge of an inescapable abyss. Within Anna, a silent battle rages. Part of her wants to flee, to pack her bags and leave Willow Creek before everything collapses. She's run before when the accident and lawsuit stripped her of her career, dreams, and self-belief. Leaving seems the easiest path, the only way to shield Sophie and Mason from the pain her past could inflict. Anna doesn't want Sophie, the girl just rediscovering light, to see her vilified, nor does she want Mason, the man beginning to open his heart to face new doubts. But each time she considers leaving, Sophie's image, her fragile smile, her trusting eyes, stops her cold. Sophie, with a child's keen sensitivity, senses the shift in Anna. At just 7, she has a heart attuned to the slightest tremors in those she loves. During one lesson, as Anna plays a sadder melody than usual, Sophie suddenly grasps her hand. The girl's small, trembling but determined hands clasp Anna's, as if trying to hold her in place. Sophie says little, but her eyes, brimming with tears and worry, speak a silent plea. "Don't leave me." In that moment, under the sunlight streaming through the classroom window, Anna feels her heart melt. She realizes Sophie doesn't just need her for music. The girl needs her to believe the world is still worth loving. That moment becomes a turning point. Anna, though haunted by fear, resolves not to run. She can't turn her back on Sophie, the girl leaning on her to conquer her own fears. Anna knows staying in Willow Creek means facing the victim's family, the accusations, and possibly the town's rejection. But she also sees that running isn't the answer. She's fled too long, and now, for Sophie, for herself, she must stand firm. The decision, though it makes her tremble, brings a relief she's never known. Anna begins to steel herself for the storm, even as the pressure weighs heavier on her shoulders. Under the vast Texas sky, where stars twinkle like whispers of hope, Willow Creek becomes the stage for a battle between past and present. Anna, her heart scarred, faces the greatest challenge of her life. Sophie, with her sensitivity and love, has become the flame, keeping Anna anchored, and Mason, unaware of the storm approaching, is unwittingly drawn into a story where truth will soon change everything. Their tale, like a symphony of shifting tones, builds toward a crescendo where trust and courage will be tested beneath the blazing western sun. Beneath the radiant Texas sky, where golden grasslands sway in the breeze, Willow Creek wears a mask of tranquility, but an emotional storm quietly sweeps through its people. Anna Harper, the music teacher with a scarred heart, faces shadows from her past as the family of a long-ago victim threatens to expose the tragedy that once cost her everything. Mason Caldwell, who once doubted Anna, now stands at a fateful crossroads. He cannot let Sophie, his fragile daughter, lose the woman who brought light back to her life. Driven to uncover the truth, Mason embarks on a journey that will transform not only Anna's life, but his own. Mason, with the cautious instincts of a man who conquered oil fields, refuses to stand idle as Anna faces threats. Rumors of her past, sensational old articles, and the arrival of the victim's family have shaken him. But deep down, he senses Anna is not the person those accusations paint. He sees how she nurtures Sophie, using music to heal the girl's fears, and he cannot believe a woman with such a heart could cause tragedy. Determined to find the truth, Mason hires a professional investigation team, skilled at uncovering details overlooked by the press and public. The investigators dive in, poring over old records, interviewing witnesses, and examining documents tied to the fateful performance years ago. They work in secrecy, guided by Mason, who awaits their findings with a heart heavy with worry. Each passing day tightens the knot of tension within him. He wants to believe Anna is innocent, but the fear that he's misplaced his trust haunts him. In the afternoons, standing outside Anna's classroom, watching Sophie laugh and play clumsy notes, Mason feels a flicker of hope, yet wonders if the truth can protect the miracle unfolding among them. After weeks of work, the investigators deliver their answer. The accident wasn't Anna's fault. A critical technical error in the school's stage rigging, a misinstalled support beam, caused the tragedy, a mistake the school's administration tried to conceal. Anna, as the organizer, was scapegoated, absorbing the public's and family's blame. Records show she had warned about technical issues before the performance, but her concerns were ignored. When the disaster struck, she became the easiest target, and sensational headlines distorted the truth, portraying her as negligent despite no evidence. Reading the report, Mason is flooded with conflicting emotions. Relief washes over him. Anna is innocent, but guilt follows sharp and heavy for doubting her. He recalls the times he watched her with scrutiny, the moments he hesitated to leave Sophie in her care. Mason knows he must make amends, not just for Sophie, but for himself, a man who's begun to feel a profound connection to Anna. One evening, as the sunset bathes Willow Creek's fields in gold, Mason heads to Anna's small house, where wildflowers bloom around a wooden fence. Anna, sitting by her window with a distant gaze, startles when she sees Mason at her door. She's grown used to keeping her distance, hiding her pain, but the sincerity in Mason's eyes disarms her. In a warm, steady voice, Mason shares what he's uncovered. He apologizes for doubting her, for letting articles and rumors sway his trust. His apology, though simple, carries weight, as if he speaks not only for himself, but for all who've hurt Anna. For the first time in years, Anna feels a burden lift. Listening to Mason, silent tears roll down her cheeks. She opens up about the days after the accident, how it stole her career, her friends, her self-belief. She speaks of nights spent blaming herself. Despite knowing she couldn't have stopped the tragedy, her dreams of music, of grand stages, shattered, and she fled to Willow Creek, hoping to reclaim a piece of herself. Her confession, though painful, is a door flung open, letting Mason see her true self. a woman both resilient and deeply wounded. In that moment, under the Texas twilight, two broken hearts begin to find each other. Mason, whose heart froze after Emily's departure, feels a warmth he thought was lost forever. Anna, who built walls to shield herself, finds safety in sharing her pain with someone who truly listens. They say little, but their silence speaks volumes like a wordless melody. Mason looks into Anna's eyes and sees not just Sophie's teacher, but a woman whose strength and compassion have changed his and his daughter's lives. Under Willow Creek's vast sky, where stars begin to shimmer, the truth has brought light to Anna and Mason. The past, though painful, no longer chains Anna. Mason, his trust restored, sees their journey, his, Sophie's, and Anna's, entering a new chapter, guided by faith and love. Their story, like a symphony rich with emotion, rises toward brighter notes, promising a future none of them dared to dream of. Beneath the blazing golden sun of West Texas, where the vast sky pours molten light over endless grasslands, Anna Harper's classroom at Willow Creek Elementary has become a sanctuary of wonder. Here, musical notes do more than resonate. They transform into beams of healing light, touching the soul. Sophie Caldwell, once a prisoner of fear, confined to her wheelchair after a life-altering accident, is slowly rediscovering the spark of who she once was through the tender melodies Anna weaves. But Anna, with her perceptive heart and extraordinary talent, sees beyond the surface. She doesn't stop at teaching Sophie to sing or coax notes from the piano. In the girl's wide, yearning eyes, Anna glimpses a deeper longing to stand, to walk, to reclaim the freedom she once knew, galloping across the open fields on her beloved horse. With boundless creativity and unyielding patience, Anna crafts a path to make that dream a reality, using the power of music as the bridge to Sophie's first courageous steps. The idea strikes Anna like a sudden, clear note ringing in her mind, as natural as a breeze across the plains. She recognizes that Sophie, though wounded in body, possesses a heart that pulses with rhythm. Music has already unlocked the girl's spirit, breaking through the walls of fear that held her captive. Why not harness that same rhythm to guide her body? Anna begins to reimagine walking as a dance. Each step a beat in a living melody Sophie can feel and follow. In the small, sunlit classroom, where an old weathered piano stands as the beating heart, Anna sits and plays simple, soulful tunes, each note a gentle invitation for Sophie to rise. She calls it stepping to the rhythm, a method not just to help Sophie walk, but to infuse every motion with joy, turning a daunting challenge into a celebration of movement. Thus begin the special lessons, transforming the modest classroom into a stage of hope where miracles take root. Anna positions Sophie beside the piano, the girl's small, trembling hands gripping the worn wooden edge for balance. Anna plays a slow, steady rhythm, each note carefully aligned with a potential step, like a heartbeat guiding a dance. She encourages Sophie to feel the beat, to let her movements flow with the melody, as if she's gliding through a gentle waltz under an invisible chandelier. Sophie's first attempts are fragile, her frail legs quivering under the weight of her body, barely able to support her. But Anna, with a patience as deep as the Texas sky, never allows Sophie to feel defeated. Each time Sophie stumbles, Anna responds with a bright, cheerful note, its playful lilt sparking a burst of laughter from the girl. That laughter, clear and innocent, fills the room, a radiant harmony of faith and hope that seems to dance with the sunlight streaming through the windows. Anna's mission extends beyond teaching Sophie to walk. She's teaching her to transmute fear into strength, to see every challenge as a verse in a song of resilience. With each lesson, Anna invents new exercises, seamlessly blending music with motion to keep Sophie engaged. She introduces faster melodies as Sophie's confidence grows, the upbeat tempos urging the girl to push her limits. When Sophie needs time to regain her balance, Anna slows the rhythm, letting the notes linger like a comforting embrace. To inspire her, Anna shares stories of dancers who defied hardship, their bodies weaving triumphs through rhythm, overcoming odds that seemed insurmountable. Sophie listens, her eyes alight with a fierce determination, absorbing the tales like seeds planted in fertile soil. Gradually, she begins to envision each step as a note in a melody, each moment she rises as a soaring chorus, and each fall as a necessary pause, a breath before the song continues. The fruits of Sophie's perseverance begin to bloom, fragile at first, but growing stronger with each passing day. From tentative, shaky steps, she learns to stand steadier, her weakened legs slowly rediscovering their strength, as if awakening from a long slumber. In one unforgettable lesson, bathed in sunlight pouring through the classroom window, Sophie, with Anna's steadying presence, takes 3 steps unaided. The moment, though small in the grand sweep of time, is a monumental victory, a beacon of possibility. Sophie turns to Anna, her smile as radiant as the Texas sun, its warmth filling the room. Anna, her eyes brimming with tears, feels a surge of pride and awe. She knows Sophie isn't merely learning to walk. She's learning to trust in her own resilience, to believe in the boundless potential within her. Those clumsy steps, faltering yet determined, stand as proof that music can achieve what medicine and wealth alone cannot. A healing of the spirit that radiates outward to the body. Mason Caldwell, Sophie's father, lingers quietly outside the classroom door, a silent witness to his daughter's rebirth, his heart swelling with emotions too vast for words. He watches Sophie, the girl who once shrank from the light itself, now taking small, brave steps in time with Anna's rhythm. Each time she rises after a stumble, each time her laughter rings out like a bell, Mason feels his own heart ignite, a glow banishing the shadows of despair. He once believed nothing could restore Sophie, that the vibrant child he knew was lost forever to the accident that stole her mobility. But Anna, with her old piano and heart as wide as the plains, has proven him wrong, crafting a miracle note by note. Mason realizes Anna is more than a teacher. She's a miracle incarnate, a woman whose compassion has not only revived Sophie, but rekindled hope in his own weary soul. In the late afternoons, as golden sunsets drape Willow Creek's fields in a warm embrace, Mason lingers longer outside the classroom, not just to collect Sophie, but to immerse himself in the magic Anna creates. He observes her patient guidance, the way she smiles at Sophie's every small triumph, and a profound gratitude takes root within him. But it's more than gratitude. He sees Anna as an essential part of their lives, a presence that has shifted the very fabric of their existence. She's not merely helping Sophie walk. She's guiding both father and daughter out of a long, dark night into the dawn of possibility. Mason, whose heart hardened after Emily's abrupt departure, feels a new warmth stirring, a feeling he's not yet ready to name but cannot ignore, like a melody that lingers just out of reach. The classroom, under Anna's touch, has become a sacred space, a haven where music and love intertwine to mend the deepest wounds. Sophie's trembling steps, each one a testament to her courage, mark the beginning of a new journey, one where fear no longer holds sway. Anna, with her boundless creativity and compassion, has become the flame illuminating the path for Sophie and Mason, leading them toward a future they once deemed impossible. Willow Creek, with its rolling grassland stretching to the horizon, stands as a quiet witness to this unfolding story, where each of Sophie's steps is a note in a symphony of renewal, and each note a vow of hope that echoes across the plains. This journey is not just about physical steps, but about the courage to move forward, to embrace life despite its scars. Anna's music, Sophie's resilience, and Mason's quiet faith weave together to form a tapestry of healing, one that speaks to the universal human spirit. The classroom, with its creaky floorboards and sunlit corners, holds more than lessons. It holds the promise of transformation, a reminder that even in the smallest spaces, miracles can take root. Sophie's laughter, Anna's melodies, and Mason's renewed hope are threads in a story that Willow Creek will carry forward, a tale of light found in darkness, of steps taken against all odds. As the days pass, the impact of these lessons ripples outward, touching not just Sophie and Mason, but the very heart of Willow Creek. The town, with its simple rhythms and tight-knit community, begins to sense the magic unfolding within the walls of the elementary school. Anna's work, her ability to see beyond Sophie's limitations, becomes a beacon, a reminder that hope can flourish in the most unexpected places. Sophie's progress, her growing strength, and her radiant smile become a source of inspiration, a story whispered in the coffee shop, shared at the weekend market, and cherished in quiet moments under the stars. This is a story of music's power, of love's endurance, and of a little girl who, step by trembling step, is teaching a town to believe in miracles. Beneath the vast Texas sky, where summer sunlight drenches endless grasslands in a golden glow, Willow Creek buzzes with anticipation for its annual summer festival, a beloved tradition that unites the town in celebration. Red dirt roads come alive with vibrant banners fluttering in the breeze. Stalls brim with the comforting aroma of fresh-baked cornbread and the tangy zest of homemade lemonade, and laughter weaves through the ancient oaks, carried by the voices of children and neighbors. But this year, the festival carries a weightier significance, a story poised to unfold on a humble stage nestled in the heart of the fields, where the sunset will cast its radiant gaze upon a miracle. Mason Caldwell and Anna Harper, two souls bearing the scars of their pasts, have woven together a moment not only for Sophie, but for all of Willow Creek, a moment destined to ripple far beyond the prairies, touching hearts with its quiet power. The spark of inspiration for an outdoor concert ignites in Anna's mind like a sudden, perfect note. She envisions Sophie, the brave girl who conquered fear and learned to walk to the rhythm of music, standing before the entire town to proclaim that miracles are not just possible, but real. Mason, driven by a father's boundless love for his daughter, embraces the idea with unwavering resolve, even though he knows the town watches them with a mix of curiosity and lingering doubt. Though the truth about Anna's past has been laid bare, dispelling the shadows of old rumors, some wary glances persist. The people of Willow Creek, accustomed to the predictable rhythm of their tranquil lives, remain uncertain about Sophie's remarkable tale of rebirth. Yet Mason and Anna stand resolute, their faith unshaken. They trust that music, the force that breathed life back into Sophie, will speak a universal language, one capable of swaying even the most skeptical hearts. The preparation for the concert becomes an emotional odyssey, a labor of love that binds Mason, Anna, and Sophie closer. Anna pours countless hours into the classroom, rehearsing with Sophie, gently coaxing her to embrace the daunting prospect of performing before a crowd. She plays lively, uplifting melodies, encouraging Sophie to feel the rhythm pulsing through each tentative step, each trembling note. Sophie, though her heart quakes at the thought of countless eyes upon her, finds courage in Anna's tender guidance, her soothing voice a steady anchor. Meanwhile, Mason channels his resources into transforming the town's central field into a stage worthy of their vision. He enlists skilled workers to construct a simple wooden platform adorned with twinkling string lights that glimmer like stars and bales of hay that evoke the rustic charm of the plains. Each night, as moonlight bathes Willow Creek in a silvery glow, Mason stands at the field's edge, gazing at the stage to be, his heart swelling with hope as he imagines Sophie shining under the spotlight. The festival day dawns and Willow Creek gathers in the field, where the sunset paints the landscape in vivid hues of gold and amber. Families spread checkered blankets across the grass. Children dart through the crowd with colorful balloons bobbing in their wake, and adults exchange hushed murmurs about the concert to come. No one knows precisely what to expect, but an unspoken anticipation draws them together, as if they sense a rare and extraordinary moment awaits. Anna, dressed in a simple white cotton dress that sways gently in the breeze, stands by the piano, which has been carefully moved to the stage. Her fingers brush the ivory keys, testing the sound, her calm exterior belying the storm of emotion within. Sophie, her golden hair neatly tied with a delicate ribbon, clings to her father's hand, her eyes a swirling mix of nervous excitement and fierce determination. Mason, in a modest suit that speaks to his quiet strength, stands beside his daughter, his heart pounding as he faces the sea of expectant faces. As the sunset deepens, casting a fiery red glow that sets the field ablaze, Anna settles at the piano and begins to play. The first melody rises soft yet saturated with emotion, like a whispered prayer ascending to the heavens. The notes, rising and falling in a tender dance, intertwine with the gentle rustle of the grass in the evening breeze, weaving an ethereal atmosphere that stills the crowd. Anna plays with her entire being. Each key she presses a testament to Sophie's arduous journey, her trembling steps, her reclaimed smiles, her triumph over fear. This melody isn't solely for Sophie. It's a gift to every soul who has ever lost faith, who has believed the darkness would never yield to light. Sophie, gripping Mason's hand, steps onto the stage. The crowd holds its breath, their eyes locked on the small girl in a white dress, her legs still fragile but imbued with an invisible strength. Mason, his gaze filled with boundless love, gives her hand a gentle squeeze, then releases it, entrusting her to face the world on her own. Sophie walks, each step a note in perfect harmony with Anna's melody. Those steps, deliberate and shaky, ring out as a resounding victory, a living proof that fear cannot imprison a heart determined to soar. When Sophie reaches the stage's center, the sunset bathes her face in a warm glow, illuminating the radiant smile that Mason and Anna have cherished through every trial. Then Sophie sings. Her voice, clear and delicate yet brimming with vitality, rises like a refreshing breeze, piercing the hearts of everyone in the crowd. She sings a simple song of fields and dreams, but each word, each quivering note, carries the weight of her story. A tale of pain, loss, and an unyielding journey to reclaim the light. The crowd, initially drawn by curiosity and tempered by skepticism, falls silent, swept away by the purity of Sophie's voice and the soulful depth of Anna's accompaniment. They don't merely listen, they feel, as if they too are walking alongside Sophie, singing with her of hope, renewal, and the courage to rise again. As the final note fades into the twilight, the field holds its breath, suspended in a moment of sacred stillness. Then, like a tidal wave, applause erupts, a thunderous roar that echoes across the prairies, overpowering the wind and the distant hum of cicadas. The people of Willow Creek rise to their feet, clapping with unrelenting fervor, not just for Sophie's steps or her song, but for the miracle they've witnessed, a story of resilience, love, and the transformative power of music. Sophie, standing at the heart of the stage, gazes out at the crowd, her smile as brilliant as the sun itself. Mason, positioned behind her, feels silent tears trace down his cheeks, each one a release of years of fear and a celebration of this triumphant moment. Anna, seated at the piano, lifts her eyes to Sophie, and for the first time in years, she feels a profound certainty. She has found her purpose, a reason to believe her music can change lives. Under the Texas twilight, with the sky transitioning from fiery reds to deep indigos, Willow Creek becomes the keeper of an unforgettable moment. Sophie, with her courageous steps on stage, has proven that no fear is insurmountable. Anna, through the soul-stirring melodies she crafted, has rediscovered the light she thought was forever lost. And Mason, the father who once believed happiness was a distant memory, now knows that miracles are not only possible, but tangible, blossoming right in the heart of his hometown's boundless fields. Their story, like a symphony composed with flawless precision, has touched the very soul of the town, leaving an echo that will resonate through generations. The festival's glow lingers, not just in the flickering string lights or the laughter of children, but in the hearts of those who witnessed Sophie's triumph. The people of Willow Creek, once divided by whispers and doubts, are now united by a shared awe, a recognition that something sacred unfolded before them. Anna's music, Sophie's courage, and Mason's steadfast love have woven a tapestry of hope, one that will be recounted in quiet conversations at the coffee shop, in stories told under the stars, in moments when the town needs reminding that light can emerge from darkness. This concert was more than a performance. It was a declaration that healing is possible, that love can mend what loss has broken, and that a single melody can ignite a spark that changes everything. Mason, standing beside Sophie and Anna as the crowd disperses, feels a shift within himself. The man who once saw the world through the lens of control and wealth now sees it through the prism of possibility. Anna, her hand resting gently on Sophie's shoulder, feels the weight of her past dissolve, replaced by the certainty of her place in this town, in this moment. Sophie, her eyes still bright with the thrill of her performance, looks out at the field, no longer a place of fear, but a canvas for her dreams. Together, they have crafted not just a moment, but a legacy, a story that Willow Creek will carry forward, a melody that will inspire anyone who hears it to believe in the power of love, resilience, and the magic of a single, perfect note. Beneath the boundless Texas sky, where stars shimmer like notes etched on the grand score of existence, the golden fields of Willow Creek still pulse with the lingering resonance of the summer concert. The fiery hues of sunset have long faded, yet the brilliance of Sophie Caldwell's trembling steps across the stage, her crystalline voice soaring through the air, continues to illuminate the hearts of those fortunate enough to bear witness. Mason Caldwell, Anna Harper, and Sophie, three souls once burdened by their private wounds, now stand united, no longer solitary silhouettes against the vast prairies. Their journey, a symphony woven with flawless precision, has reached its crescendo with chords of love, trust, and unyielding hope, leaving an echo that will reverberate eternally in the soul of this quiet town. Mason, a man who once barricaded his heart after the wrenching departure of his wife, Emily, now feels a warmth he believed was lost to him forever. Standing in the open field, his eyes rest on Sophie, her golden hair catching the starlight as she clasps Anna's hand, her smile radiating with the brilliance of a midday sun. His mind drifts to Milo Mason, recalls the bleak days when Sophie shrank from the light, her spirit dimmed by fear, her laughter silenced by a tragic accident. He was powerless then, a father watching his daughter's world collapse, convinced that his wealth and influence could mend any fracture. But it was Anna, with her weathered piano and boundless heart, who wove a miracle. She didn't just coax Sophie back to life, she reached into Mason's guarded soul, teaching him that love could still find a way. Anna's melodies, her gentle patience, and her unshakable belief in Sophie's strength rekindled a spark Mason thought extinguished. He gazes at Anna now, her brown hair cascading softly, her deep eyes holding stories of resilience and grace. She is no longer just Sophie's savior, but a beacon for Mason himself. Their fleeting conversations after class, the quiet moments watching her guide Sophie with unwavering care, planted seeds of an emotion Mason hesitated to name. With Anna's past now laid bare, the shadows of doubt dispelled, he feels a connection that transcends gratitude. Anna didn't merely restore Sophie, she unearthed a version of Mason he'd buried long ago. The man who dared to love, who dreamed of a family bathed in joy. Under the twinkling Texas stars, Mason knows the stage was not their journey's end, but its radiant beginning, a promise of days yet to unfold. Anna Harper, who sought refuge in Willow Creek to escape the scars of her past, stands in the field, enveloped by a sense of belonging she never thought possible. She recalls the days when her dreams of music crumbled, when a tragic accident and stinging accusations convinced her she was unworthy of the spotlight's glow. Willow Creek, with its dusty red roads and wildflower-dotted fences, was meant to be a temporary haven, a place to hide from the weight of guilt. But it has become her home, its quiet embrace weaving her into its fabric. Sophie, with her faltering steps and voice like a morning breeze, gave Anna a reason to believe her music could still transform lives. Mason, with his earnest trust and quiet strength, offered her a sanctuary to unburden the pain she'd carried alone. When Anna's gaze meets Sophie's, she sees more than a student. She sees a living testament to the alchemy of kindness. Sophie's courage, her refusal to let fear define her, pushed Anna to confront her own demons. When the victim's family arrived, stirring old wounds, Sophie's unwavering faith anchored Anna, urging her to stand firm. Each note Anna played for Sophie, each melody she crafted, was a step toward healing her own fractured spirit. Now, standing beside Sophie and Mason, Anna feels her heart unburdened, as if the stars above have melted away the weight of her past. Willow Creek, once a fleeting shelter, is now the place where she found her purpose, a home where she is truly seen, truly known. Sophie, the girl who once recoiled from the world's brightness, stands in the field, her smile a beacon of triumph, her frail legs defying the fear that once held her captive. She remembers the days when shadows loomed large, when the whisper of wind sent shivers through her, nightmares of falling, of hooves fading into silence, haunted her sleep. But Anna, with her tender melodies and infinite patience, taught Sophie that music could pierce the darkest void. Each step she took on that stage, each note she sang, was a victory, not just for herself, but for her father, for Anna, for every soul in Willow Creek who witnessed her rise. Sophie lifts her eyes to the sky, where stars gleam like dreams reborn, and feels no trace of fear. Music gave her wings, and the love of her father and Anna gave her a nest to call home. Their story, Mason's, Anna's, Sophie's, is a testament to the quiet power of love and compassion, a proof that even the deepest wounds can mend. Under the Texas stars, they stand as one, no longer isolated but a family forged in notes and miracles. Mason, his heart now an open door, envisions a future he dares to embrace. Anna, rooted in her newfound belonging, knows she's found her place. And Sophie, armed with fresh courage, is ready to race through the field she once cherished. Willow Creek, with its hushed secrets and timeless stillness, has become the stage for a journey of restoration where each soul discovered their own light. The concert's resonance lingers, weaving through the fields, down the red dirt roads, and into the hearts of Willow Creek's people. It's not merely a tale of a girl learning to walk or a teacher reclaiming her purpose. It's a hymn to trust, forgiveness, and the unbreakable bonds of love. Under the vast sky, where stars spin their own silent stories, Mason, Anna, and Sophie have composed a new chapter, a melody of hope that will echo beyond the prairies, touching any heart willing to listen. Their journey speaks to the truth that a single note, a single act of kindness can ripple outward, changing lives in ways unimagined. Mason reflects on the man he was, hardened by loss, convinced that control could shield him from pain. Sophie's accident shattered that illusion, leaving him grasping for solutions no fortune could buy. Anna's arrival, her quiet strength, and soulful music showed him a different path, one paved with vulnerability, with faith in the intangible. He watches Sophie now, her laughter mingling with the night air, and feels a gratitude that transcends words. Anna, standing beside her, is no longer just the woman who saved his daughter, but the one who awakened his heart, stirring dreams of a shared tomorrow. Anna, too, marvels at her own transformation. She came to Willow Creek broken, her spirit battered by guilt and loss. The accident that stole a life also stole her dreams, leaving her to wander in self-imposed exile. But Sophie's resilience, her small hand grasping Anna's in moments of doubt, reminded her that redemption is possible. Mason's trust, his willingness to see beyond her past, gave her the courage to reclaim her voice. As she stands in the field, the stars above seem to sing her own song back to her, a song of healing, of purpose, of home. Sophie, the heart of their story, embodies the miracle of resilience. Her steps, once unthinkable, now marked the earth with purpose. She recalls the fear that chained her, the nights when dreams of falling stole her breath. Anna's music, her unwavering belief, became Sophie's lifeline, pulling her toward light. On that stage, before the town's watchful eyes, Sophie didn't just walk or sing. She soared, proving that no darkness is eternal. With her father's love and Anna's guidance, she's no longer the girl who hid. She's a beacon, her smile a promise that courage can bloom in the most unlikely places. Willow Creek, with its simple beauty and whispered tales, holds their story close, a treasure woven into its fabric. The concert was more than a performance. It was a declaration that healing is possible, that love can mend what loss has torn. The townsfolk, once skeptical, now carry Sophie's song in their hearts, a reminder that miracles unfold in the quiet moments, in the choice to trust, to forgive, to love. Mason, Anna, and Sophie have given Willow Creek a gift, a story that will outlast the seasons, a melody that will lift spirits long after the stars fade at dawn. Under the endless Texas sky, where each star tells a tale of its own, their symphony endures. It's a song of hope, sung by three souls who found each other in the vastness of loss and wove a family from the threads of music and love. Mason dreams of a future bright with possibility. Anna rests in the certainty of her place. Sophie, brave and bold, runs toward a horizon she once feared. Their story, a testament to the power of a single melody, invites us all to listen, to believe, to share a spark of light with those still searching in the dark. Do you believe a single note can change a life? Share your thoughts and let this story ripple outward, touching hearts wherever hope is needed.